back, everybody. So today we're going to have the next tasting of beer number 12 in my 2-hop series featuring Cascade and Centennial. Now, beer number 12, we're going to Whirlpool hops. Now, what are Whirlpool hops? It's at the end of the boil. Once you have flame out, you turn off the burner or flame, whatever you're using, or electric. You bring the temperature down. Now, Beersmith, I don't know if it's just how mine was set up, but usually the default for a Whirlpool in Beersmith is 190. Now, I don't know if I set that a long time ago, but most, or I should say every single Whirlpool hop addition that I do at 170. So you're going to go through your regular hop additions, and then you're going to add hops at a certain temperature after you turn off the heat. And Whirlpool them. I usually stir mine every 5 minutes for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. So this one, 2 pounds, 4 ounces of 2-row. Then for the boil, we're using 0.25 ounces of Cascade at 60, 0.25 ounces of Centennial at 10, 0.25 ounces of Cascade at 5. That's why this one's called Cascade Centennial. It does use more Cascade than Centennial. Then for the Whirlpool, cool it down to 170. Then you're going to add 0.25 ounces of each hop for 15 minutes. This one does say I had to add some water because I was at 1 gallon. So we'll look at this because I never look at these before I do it. But my guess, if you are once you're fully done, under the amount you could have a higher ABV beer. Now, if that's your thing, okay, good. But we are shooting for 1.25 gallons going into the carboy on this one. So I did have to add some water to get it up to that 1.25 gallon level. 3 days into fermentation, we are dry hopping with 0.25 ounces of each hop. This was bottled on 9/27, 6.25% ABV. Beersmith wanted this to be 4.8%, so we are over 37 IBUs from Beersmith. Let's go ahead and get into this. Good hiss out of it. Some smoke. We are getting a lot of bubbles coming up there. So mainly for your hazy IPAs, your New Englands, the Whirlpool is when you're going to add most of your hops. That flavor, that aroma, that's what you're looking for instead of the bitterness that you usually get out of, let's say, a standard IPA. Now, why is it 37 IBUs on mine? That is because I am using the year prior. This was made in this beer was made in 2019. So when I ordered the hops, I did order the 2018 version. So the alpha acid on the Cascade was 4.4%. The Centennial was 6. So if you're looking for a lower IBU beer and you've got new Cascade and Centennial hops, you're going to have to cut back because I'm sure your alpha acids are higher than what mine are. So off-white, almost tannish head on there, small and medium bubbles. About a finger of head. Bubbles are alternating between small and medium, which is kind of weird. Lots of hop particles in here. I can make out the light box. Lots and lots of bubbles coming up. I don't know if I mentioned this. I do bottle directly out of the fermenter, so it's got a bigger opening, so I can get hop particles in there. I do use the pellets, so once they start breaking apart, they are going to get into the beer. Let's go ahead and smell. I do get more floral. Like, I almost want to say like a perfume floral in this one. Maybe a touch of citrus, but that floral is really there, which I would expect it because we are using more Centennial or more Cascade than Centennial, so we should get more floral from it. Yeah, floral than generic citrus is what I get. Let's go ahead and taste. Very smooth. Nice floral. Overcarbed. Yeah, that floral. It's almost like a sweet floral, which could be because it's an older beer, so the hops are dying down. But that floral is more pronounced. I can tell you that floral in this one is more pronounced than in beer 10 and 11 that I just got done doing. I'm guessing it's from the Whirlpool. There is a touch of citrus. Bitterness is nothing. Yeah, I would say around 30. Yeah, 30. I don't want to say 37 because I already read that. I would say around 30. It's perceived as 30. I could see it being almost 40. The aftertaste, that bitterness does warm up. That floral bitterness is warming up as I'm talking. I'm going to try and do the review, but that floral profile in this one has the same taste as my hometown brewery is Distant Whistle, and they have a beer called Elder Fox, and it's got some floral, and that's the floral quality this has in there. This one does seem toned down, like it is older, but for a 6-month-old beer, yeah, it should. I taste sweetness. Like there's a sweeter profile on this one. Like in the back. Which is kind of weird since it wanted 4.8 and we hit 6.25. What was... It's 13 bricks. It seems like this one, and maybe it's because of the bitterness level, but this one seems like it has a lot more sugar, almost like the yeast US05 didn't finish, but obviously it went more than it should, and at least my pre-boil was almost spot on. I was 1030, it's supposed to be 1033. 13 bricks, I don't know what the calculation is on that. Yeah, and I didn't do the final either. Yeah, I like this one. I wish there was a little bit more citrus, but I could see a lot of people liking this. That floral note is good with that sweetness in there. And just from the tasting, I'm guessing that's from the Whirlpool editions, since I did the first wort ones before this one, and they're completely different. This one feels older, more round, how it should be. But we'll have to try beer number 13 to see if it's the same way. But yeah, definitely a beer I would brew again. I don't watch the videos of prior ones before I do this, so I don't know if this is the same profile that went out. But at least right now, I would say I would make this and let it age 6 months. As long as you're a semi-floral fan, I don't really like floral, but for some reason this one works for me. So if you enjoyed this video, check some more out over here, and until next time, happy brewing.